Hello guys, we are ready to leave here in Santa Maria de Luca. Finally, to be honest, it has been pretty complicated here. We'll explain you in a couple of minutes while we are out of here, and we can't wait. It's 5 a.m. in the morning and today we are going to Greece.
At least that's the plan. Let's see if they let us in.
They will, I'm sure, I'm confident. Alright, let's go.
That's right guys, we're making a 90-mile passage to Corfu in Greece, where we plan to haul out and prepare Talia for the sailing season. Well, that's under the condition that they let us in first.
So there we have it, the most southern tip of Italy behind us here, Santa Maria de Luca, and I couldn't be happier to be saying goodbye to that place. It's very, very rare that you'll hear us criticizing much on this channel, but Santa Maria de Luca was a pretty exceptional kind of experience. Now the town itself, absolutely beautiful, breathtaking place. If you've got the chance to visit it, definitely visit it, but stay in a hotel, don't sail here. And if you do sail here, do it on a very, very calm day and stay in the anchorage rather than in the marina. Oh man, the service there was virtually non-existent. No one responds on the radio, or they take forever to respond. There is so much movement in that marina. It is worse than staying in an anchorage. If it wasn't for the washing machine of swell and wind going on around here over the last couple of days, I would have dropped anchor. It's just, well, we found out all too late, right? Anyway, Italy has been an amazing experience, and we have loved every moment we spent in Sicily and Sardinia. Unfortunately, we didn't get to spend that much time on mainland Italy. From what we saw, Crotone had a lot to offer. I would have loved to have gone around to Gallipoli on the inside of Italy's heel. Unfortunately, we didn't have a chance. But for now, we're looking forward to getting a nice 17 knots on the beam on our way here to Corfu. Let's see what happens.
So we were a bit nervous. Despite Greece lifting the COVID travel restrictions for tourists arriving by land and air, they hadn't yet confirmed that they were open for sailboats yet. For the time being, even local boats weren't allowed to sail outside of their home ports. They'd hinted that today was the date, but nothing was official yet. So we set out in hope that we wouldn't be turned away and have to hightail it over to Albania as the only alternative close by.
So we haven't recorded a lot over this journey so far, mainly because we have been really surprised by the amount of wind and swell that was between Italy and Greece. But I think it's official, we're in Greece!
Yay! Yeah, finally, but the wind honestly it's too much. Actually, the swell was too much this morning.
The swell was pretty bad. Neither of us have eaten much for fear of seeing it come up again. But here we are, we've just passed Otonoi and we've got Erakusa. We've just passed another small island behind us here, which I don't know the name of. We're hoping that this funnel of wind that's going on from here is gonna stop once we get here, and a bit of protection behind that headland. We don't mind slowing down now. We've been clocking 8 knots for a bunch of this sail, and considering the fact that I've put 1 reef in the main and 2 reefs in the head sail, I'm surprised we managed to go at such huge speeds. No, we're happy to be here. Let's hope that the adventure in terms of craziness has come to an end already for today, and that when we get in we don't have another adventure with the authorities. So we've still got 5 hours left of this journey if our plan is to get into the boatyard in Guvia. So I'm going to give the guy at the boatyard a call once the weather calms down a little bit and see if he can give me more clarity on whether or not he can accept us in tonight. He said, his words were exactly over the phone yesterday, we'll work something out for you. So hopefully that doesn't mean putting us at anchor in a small bommy somewhere with a reef all around us or some horrible situation like that. Let's see. Anyway, for now, we've survived the main crossing. Let's see how we go once we hit Corfu.
If you get a kick out of our videos, consider supporting us via Patreon. More info in the description below. After a long and cloudy day at sea, we pulled up at the boatyard in Corfu and were welcomed by the sunshine. Could this be a sign of things to come?
We are going out of the water just right now.
This is like something from like the Wild West, you would imagine, in some sort of like country and western movie. It's this wooden structure, wooden and steel structure.
Yeah.
It's just being pulled forward on a track.
Quite impressive though, I must say.
So the guy that's just attached us to this frame that's being lifted onto the ground here, he's just gone down a ladder and left us here on our own as we're slowly going up the track and onto land. I'm waiting for this cracking sound and for us to just slip straight back.
No!
Splash!
No, don't say that!
I'm actually waiting to get off the boat and see they've got like 6 or 7 donkeys tied to the front of the boat pulling this thing up. So this is incredible. Unlike when we got the survey and you have the 2 straps, one at the front and one at the back of the boat, this one has no strap at the front. Not sure how I feel about that.
That's so true.
So there's no risk of having the speed transducer busted from the straps, which is a common risk when lifting a boat. We need to decide on a colour for the anti-fouling. They don't have a dark blue like this. We can either go black or light blue like this one here.
Black.
I think black. Going stern to, no prop walk. This is the trick. I remember when we first started shopping around for boats in Greece and seeing boats held up with wooden stilts or wooden logs like this, thinking how safe is that to keep a boat like this for an extended amount of time? Well, we're now going to be living on board and we're going to find out exactly how safe they are. So the owner of the yacht yard here said to me, well, we need to be a little bit careful because Greece is notorious for earthquakes. My response was, are you serious?
No. Did he really say that?
Yeah, and so he said, that's why we put a steel cradle at the front and the back of the boat.
Right.
So in case that does happen, you've got extra support.
Let's go. So it's our first day here in Corfu and the weather is beautiful. We're actually one of the first sailing boats who have crossed into Corfu from a foreign country because Greece only officially opened up for tourism, yesterday, and we're getting a lot of questions on the different Facebook groups around sailing on the protocol to enter. We've been assured that it is totally fine to come into Greece now, as long as you follow the rules in terms of filling out the passenger locator form when you first arrive, making sure you've paid the cruising tax,
The PCR test.
and having had a PCR test within 72 hours of arriving.
So we just arrived at the first marina Luke wanted to see, and it was quite breathtaking. I think I've never seen a marina like this, like it's surrounded by a fortress.
Yeah.
And it's all clean, all green, or it's breathtaking.
Just beautiful. We've only been visiting Corfu for a couple of hours now, and I think it's pretty safe to say that this place has already captured our heart. Just beautiful. Fun fact, Corfu is actually the birthplace of Prince Philip, the Queen's late husband. So I think it's pretty safe to say that Corfu is unlike any place that we've visited so far on our travels through Spain and Italy and now here in Greece. And we are loving every second of it. We're just about to try now a Greek coffee.
For you, yeah.
Yeah. What are you trying?
Nice coffee.
Pushing limits here, guys. Has to be a uniquely European experience. The marina here, or one of the marinas here on this side of Corfu, is actually entered via a castle. Incredible. So you have to pass through the castle grounds in order to get to the marina. Check it out.
So today we worked a lot inside this morning, different things for YouTube and Instagram, but this afternoon we have a bit of time, so we're gonna install the new Cultize flag, the Greek one of course. We haven't had the time to do it before, so we're gonna do it right now. Luke is gonna do it, and it's nice because it will be official, we'll be in Greece.
Can you hold on to this line, please?
That seems dangerous.
You're holding into it?
Yeah.
Because it's going to fly off. Oh, well, it didn't fly off.
This is Luke's way to install a new flag.
First up on the to-do list, replace all the through-hull fittings.
This one was in better condition.
Yeah. Chainsaw.
Yeah.
Yeah. Easy to cut it.
Yeah. That's difficult to disconnect.
Because then it doesn't have space. That's the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Once you go black, you never go back.
What's up guys? So I've just got back from going for a stroll through Corfu Old Town and it is bloody hot. It's 30 degrees today and it is perfect temperature for Talia to be in the water. Where's Talia? In the boatyard. So it's hot here, all the chocolate we have on board is melting and the boatyard's pretty dusty, so it's not ideal circumstance. Anyway, you might remember when we were just about to leave Italy, we were in Santa Maria de Luca, and we weren't huge fans of Santa Maria de Luca, not the marina anyway. So there was a lot of surge going on in that marina, and I figured there's one thing that's been on my shopping list for a while now, which I've put off mainly because I haven't really needed it until we got to Santa Maria de Luca, which are shock absorbers. Now, when we bought the boat, it came with two very rusty old spring shock absorbers that you attach to your stern lines, and basically that gives the stern lines a bit of play should there be a bit of surge. So far I've never actually used those springs, mainly because they're super awkward to use if you're coming into dock somewhere or other and you're throwing stern lines to either a marinero, someone who's helping you on the dock, or to Law, and I'm launching 3 or 4 kilo springs at her at the same time as the line. So yeah, I basically said it's first of all not really necessary and borderline dangerous. However, Santa Maria de Luca taught me that sometimes you get into marinas where there's a lot of surge and where something like this could be quite handy. But I didn't want to go for the springs, so what I've done is I've gone out to the local chandlery here in Corfu and bought 2 of these, which actually look like they're more designed for adult entertainment than for a boat. But I've seen a lot of boats all around the Med tend to use these, mostly for sailors who keep their boat in the same marina for extended periods of time and don't actually live aboard, so they've got a little bit of peace of mind that there's a bit of stretch in the stern lines just in case. So the next time we go into a marina with a bit of surge, I'm going to attach these to my 14mm stern lines and see how we go. I'll let you know once I've given them a try.
So it's been broken already once before. Yeah, I thought I noticed something in there that looked like cement, but it's filler.
Yeah.
Oh well, the wonders of buying a second-hand boat. So what some of you might remember is when we first started anchoring at the beginning of summer last year, we dropped a stern anchor in a cala or a bay off Ibiza. The wind changed direction and we ended up getting a bit of pressure on the beam, and I ended up letting the stern anchor go and sending it off with a float. Now I'm not sure, either from that or from an accident that happened with the boat while we weren't actually on board, possibly in Mahon. The bow roller is twisted probably somewhere in the region of about 10 degrees. Now I've just spent 250 euros getting the local steel maker here to correct that, and now the guys from the boatyard here are actually grinding down the gel coat to see what kind of damage actually has happened to the bow of the boat. So it's now been revealed that somebody has actually tried to repair some sort of damage to the bow already. Now that's certainly not since we've owned the boat, so it seems that the structural integrity of the bow of the boat was already a little bit in question, because we've just found that there's a bit of filler at the very tip of the top of the bow. So it looks like there's been some sort of accident in the past and they've made an attempt to repair it, at least cosmetically, but it looks like they haven't actually done anything to really strengthen the bow. So we're going to add some polyester now, some GRP, what boats are actually made out of, and hopefully that's going to strengthen it enough so the next time the bow's under pressure it doesn't warp the bow roller and it stays a little bit more strong. With the bow reinforced, the through hulls replaced and the new anti-fouling applied, we were ready to splash. So we check all the new seacocks are not leaking. So we have just left the boatyard and it's amazing to be back on the water on a beautiful day like today. We are punching directly into the wind with 2,000 revs on the engine and doing 6 knots. That is one clean bottom. So we're just going around the corner to a little local anchorage here and trying to get in front of this ferry. and drop anchor for the night, for a couple of nights before heading off further south. Okay, so what just happened? So while the boat was in the boatyard, I decided to ask the guys there if they could help me fix a pet peeve of mine for some time. So since buying the boat, the evacuation from the fridge, so basically there's a hole at the bottom of the fridge that when the ice melts or if there's any spills or whatever, there's a hole at the bottom of the fridge and a hose that pipes it out of the fridge and basically into the bilge, and I was never a big fan of that, so what I did was cut a bottle of water in half and use the bottom half to capture any dregs that would spill out of the fridge. To be honest, it happened very, very rarely where I actually ever had to throw the dregs from the fridge overboard. Generally speaking, it's pretty dry. However, I thought, well, if there's some way to evacuate this directly overboard or through a through hull, let's see if we could do that. So I asked the guys at the boatyard if they had any advice. So they said, yeah, okay, we can put a T connection on the evacuation hose from the sink that's going through the hull. I said, okay, in theory, that sounds good to me. These guys clearly know what they're doing. Turns out, because the T connection is below the waterline, water is coming up into the fridge from that. And so I've called the boatyard and they said, look, if you can come back tomorrow morning, we can put it back to the way it was. And so I said, fine, I'd rather that than have my food marinating in salt water at the bottom of the fridge. So that's that, and tomorrow morning we will be back to the boatyard and either lifting out or getting the guys to come over and work on it while it's in the water. I've no idea how they're going to fix it, to be honest, but for the amount of money that I spent over there, I think it's only reasonable that they look after this. Where are we? What are we doing?
Oh, so we're back to the shipyard this morning because we had a little issue yesterday. That's okay, I guess it should be quite fast to repair it.
Fortunately, the guys managed to revert it back to the old system without much fuss, and we were back on our way.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Hello?
That's a serious neighbour.
So we're officially in Greece and loving life on the hook here. Stay tuned over the coming weeks as we show you some of the most magnificent anchorages in the world and exactly why Greece is such a popular cruising ground. Thanks for watching, guys.
Cheers, legends!